Such a, okay. I can't keep calm, there's too much homework. Can you guys relate to that? Heck yeah. Okay, so this says 4 groups, but how many groups are there really? 5. That's because I ended up adding a group and I didn't change my slide. So you are sitting, this is group A, B, C, D, and E, all right? Okay, we're gonna see how internet is doing today. It's not been doing well. And I've had to use my laptop. So we're gonna be prepared in the event it never pulls up. It looks like it's thinking, like it might cooperate. And we want to have these things pulled up in advance, and so it's really that for not.
It's back to school tomorrow in Baltimore County, but a new policy has some parents questioning whether their students will make the grade. WJZ's Line, Megan McCorkle has more on the controversy. Megan.
Well, this year students will be graded on what they learn, not how they behave in the classroom or if they turn in their homework. The backpacks are out.
I'm excited for kindergarten.
Students in Baltimore County celebrating Wednesday's return to school. What's your favorite part about going to school?
I'm playing with toys.
Though it's not all fun and games. You gonna do all your homework?
Yes.
But this year, completing homework won't count into a student's grade.
I heard of it, but I thought it was a joke.
According to a new policy, marking period grades will be based solely on achievements and grade level standards. Classroom conduct, homework completion, and ability to work with others will be assessed in a separate section of the report card, but won't impact grades.
Personally, I don't like it because it feels like they're lowering the standards for the students. Homework is A+. That must be done.
The school system has released a video to explain the new grading system to parents.
Starting this school year, all student grades will align to identified course or grade level standards.
The new grading system was formed by a committee of parents, teachers, and administrators who found punishing students for missed homework didn't motivate them to work harder. Some say they back the new system.
It's good, because I feel as though, a lot of times they probably wouldn't do it by themselves anyway.
Others say policy or not,
He'll be turning in his homework regardless.
whether it counts or not. School board signed off on the new policy back in June. Reporting live, Megan McCorkle, WJZ Eyewitness News.
Okay, so Marley, what are your thoughts on that policy?
I kind of agree, but I kind of agree that they kind of need to do it, I guess, where they can kind of have the basic teaching them how the students are giving them advice.
Okay, so you kind of feel like maybe they really do need to have some homework. Okay, anybody have a different view? Becca?
As a parent, I'd be all for no homework.
Okay.
It takes so much out of like the home life, just trying to get through all the homework.
It's a burden on your family then?
Yeah, it takes so much time.
Okay.
Yeah, and they make a good point about a lot of the times kids at that age level, they don't do their parents do a lot of their homework for them anyway. I
Okay.
don't think it's,
At least
I
have
know
to
I've
sit
had to
side
help
by
my
side.
sister, like, she's in 8th grade, me and my mom are always having to help her
Having to
do
help her?
her stuff.
Catherine?
And it's just, especially even when they get in high school, most high school students don't do their homework. If they do, they copy somebody somewhere,
Yeah.
like right outside the classroom before they come in, so they're not really learning anything. And especially when they learn they're not getting graded on it, they're not even gonna try. And I feel like it's kind of in one ear and out the other as they get older, because once they get out of 8 hours of school, they don't wanna go home and do 2 hours of homework, so they're more likely not to.
So,
Especially when they find out.
so you're saying it's better not to have it because
Yeah.
that they're cheating and that
And
Chris
it's
was
a
like
waste of
nodding his
time.
head going, yep. Yep.
Been a plenty of times, especially for math. Whenever math books have the answers in the back.
Yeah, they all.
Or if you didn't know this, you can come to the curriculum library and check out the teacher's edition and have all the
Oh,
answers.
really?
So I have a question. How, I feel like homework is really good for knowledge checks, just, I mean, I completely agree with everything they're saying. So what's the alternative? Like, how does, from a teacher's perspective, like, how do you assess where the students are at? Like, it's not enough just to give them an end of quarter test, because if they don't understand the information halfway through, like, how do you gauge that? Do you just do daily quizzes? Well, that eats up class time. So I don't understand the alternative for the assessment portion of it.
That's a very good question, and we're gonna explore some of that today. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is the revelation of your characters. So over here, Carlton and Marley, you guys are gonna play the role, one of you will, you're gonna be the first parent. And Becca and Madison are going to be the principal, no, just kidding, the teacher. And Bailey and Taylor are going to be the principal. And Grant and Chris, and you guys are gonna be the student. And Jacob and Catherine are going to be a different parent, all right? So here's the scenario. Overlay High School within Baltimore County Schools is having some backlash to the new policy of not counting homework for grade. In a public hearing, the principal, teachers, parents, and students have come to voice their opinion. The media is present, capturing all sides of the argument. All right, so our learning targets today. So when we're done today, I would like for you to be able to identify some of the viewpoints. So you will be able to identify some of the different viewpoints. In this case, there are 5 different viewpoints that you're going to be able to identify in terms of homework perspective. And you're also going to be able to develop your own philosophy of homework. And that's going to be important. This is the kind of philosophy that you're going to develop that you can take into a job interview and talk about your stance based on research. Okay? This comes from Standard 4 on the syllabus, identifying effective homework strategies. All right, so here are the characters. The principal, instead of Mr. Hardy, it's going to be Miss Hardy. And the teacher is Miss Donnelly. And parent 1 is Miss Dees, instead of Mr. Dees. And the student is Curtis. And the parent 2 is Miss or Mr. Freeling, Mr. and Mrs. Freeling. Okay, so there are your characters. Now, the driving question is, should homework be assigned? And if it is assigned, should it be counted for grade? So those are your driving questions. Okay, prepare for your role. In the center of your table, first of all, if you will flip over the top couple of pages, okay, flip it back over, and then just take the top pages off, are your characters. There's a couple pages there, so you each can have, so this right here. Start by reading your character and what your character's goal is, all right? So that's that right there. Yeah, that's your character and your character's goal. I have to keep my phone and keep telling. Do you see anything you can connect with as it relates to your character? That you can if you find things that you can agree with? It's okay if you can't, I'm just curious if you can relate to your. Are you seeing anything in this character that you can kind of relate to? Yes. I'm going to tell you about this in just a sec. Can you relate to the student?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Can you relate to the parent? Okay. All right. So, underneath your character sheets are 1 or more articles. And so what I want you to do, you're doing this with your partner. You're going to prepare for your role. You're going to read / skim through the articles, and you're going to find information, and they're specifically chosen for your character, to find information, research, data, viewpoints that support your character's position on homework. You want to take notes where you did your do now. Use that sheet to take notes on. on what you're learning to
Are
support.
they all the same?
There's just like.
They're all the same, it's just a stack
Oh,
of
okay.
them. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's just one stack of, and these, like these guys have two different articles, but it's the same article.
On the same sheet.
Yeah, on the same as you're due now. You have 15 minutes to do your research. You can, I expect you to read, but also talk to each other about what you're learning. Now, for your, I'm going to point out that yours is very research dense. And so for this article in particular, because there's no time left to do all of it, I've highlighted the section to focus on, okay? And then on this one, I have highlighted a couple of sections, because these are research studies. So this section here was here, and then little sections here for you to focus on. So you guys have really good on articles. You were surprised to find something when we wrote the source, and I'm sorry that that covers it.
Right.
But this is high school students' opinion. And then you guys have two different, the schools, the standards-based schools, there's a little information on that, and then this sort of movement, towards moving away, and how they're freedom principles. And I don't think I highlighted, these articles are, she's reading one and I'm reading. Yeah, Bay Area. And I think you guys have the one, this is out of the Times, this was sort of a community piece here, but there's some research that this reporter did. Okay, I'm going to turn off the camera so we can save space here.